Welcome back to the Just an Introvert podcast. I'm Amy,
And I'm Abbie.
and we took a little bit of a break this summer, just life happening, but we are back. And we're going to sort of have a theme to this podcast. But before we get into that, how's it going, Abby?
It's going. School year started. I have two kids in school now. I have a first grader and a preschooler. So adjusting to both of them being out of the house and at school and two different schools, so two different drop-offs and pickups. But it's going pretty smooth. It's been good. It's been fun. They're loving it. Like this was Owen's first time, my younger, um, first time ever being dropped off like for school anywhere.
All right.
We got him in the classroom, talked to the teacher for a little bit. He starts playing, and it was like, okay, like, you know, like reminding him, like, have fun, have a good day, blah, blah, blah. Owen, Owen, not even looking at us, just like playing. Didn't he was like, what? Oh, all right, bye, see you later. Like, could not care less that
You're
we were
still
leaving him.
here?
I was like, okay, well, that makes me, I'm like, we were talking about it at work, and it's like, it's so nice. It's so nice to not have like the crying clingy because that's hard. But then there's also like, I feel like you should miss being like a little bit, but okay.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay. I'm a little offended,
And
but
then when I picked him up, same thing. He was like not paying attention at all. He was just like doing his thing. They're like, "Oh, and your mom's here." And then when they're like, "Oh, and are you ready to go?" He's like, "No." It's like, "Okay."
well, that's a sign of a good day.
Yes, I was like, it's a great thing, but it cracked me up. I thought I was like, because Jane was pretty chill. Same thing with
Uh-huh.
preschool. It was just like, all right, I'm good. I'll see you later. So I'm like, maybe Owen will be a more emotional. No, he
No,
was like, just get out of here. I'm fine. Let me play. So,
he was good.
but yeah,
Well,
it's
that's
been
good.
good.
That's good.
Yes. What
Awesome.
about you? How's this school year settling in for you?
So yeah, I started school and I started off with a lovely summer co cold.
Yep.
So if I sound a little nasally, that is why. And I'm sure it's from my lovely students and the fact that my body is all of a sudden getting like no sleep. I think that might contribute to it. I don't know, but anyway. But it's going well. We're just doing introduction lessons these 2 weeks and getting to see all my students again. And just like, I think as I get older, my mind is more blown. Like, I look at them and I go, wait, you're a kindergartner, but no, you're in third grade. Like, the fact that they're growing up so
Yeah.
fast that I just can't adjust to
Yeah.
like them go, in the grade that they're in is just
Yeah.
crazy. So it's really nice to be able to be at the same school many years in a row so you can, establish that relationship with them because a lot of them come in and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we kind of know what's going on. There's a few new kids are here and there
Yes.
in the classes, but it does help. So, but yeah, doing that and
Yeah.
then we
That's
started
nice.
cross country with Niles
Mm-hmm.
coaching. And so, besides being out in the heat
Yeah.
every afternoon, it's actually been fun. The kids were excited to see me, and so that made me
Oh,
feel
that's
good.
sweet.
And yeah, so all has been well. It's just
Yeah.
off and running.
Yep.
So
Literally with cross country off and running.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Them, not me, but
Them. Yeah.
um,
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Cool. Cool.
let's do our icebreaker. So what have you got?
Yes. Okay, I'm, trying to do my icebreakers on theme lately, but
Uh-huh.
basically that's me being like, oh shoot, I have to come up with an icebreaker. What are we talking about? Okay, so if you're anywhere in Amy's life, I'm sure you know it's almost her birthday because I have made a joke that I have now celebrated Amy's birthday in June and July, and I will celebrate it again in August. So we're just like stretching it out. The big 50. You would never guess
Yes.
if you saw her, of course.
Oh,
Um, and so I thought it would be fun to talk about a favorite birthday memory, like a birthday party, birthday gift, just something birthday related that was memorable to you.
okay. I think one of my favorite memories was being surprised on my 16th birthday. And your mom planned it.
Yep.
Shout
Yep.
out to Valerie. And the funny story was there were one or two people who accidentally dropped clues in front of me at one point, and I am so went over my head. I did not even like compute, that. And even when
Yep.
we went to the place where it was, I walked in, it was in like I think it was your parents' apartment complex, and they had like one of those big rooms. And
Yeah.
as we walked in, I saw people in there, and my immediate thought was, "Oh, we're walking into someone's parties. We need to go this way." And everybody's like, "No, Amy, this is for you." And I was
This
like,
is you.
"Oh."
Oh, that's
So
cute.
I was very, very surprised. I think I'm
Yeah.
an easy person to surprise.
Yeah.
So anyway, that stuck out in my memory
That's
as something
fun.
fun. And then just recently,
Yes.
I think my Disney trip with the girls was
Yep.
a favorite memory. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Just a really good time
Yeah.
hanging out together. So yeah, those are probably my
Yeah.
favorite memories, birthday wise.
Nice.
So how about you?
Nice.
What's a favorite birthday
Well,
memory of yours?
we've established that some of my birthday experiences are a little bit uncomfortable due to my birthday being on 9/11. So I've had
Yeah.
some rough ones, but um I feel like I should have checked what age this was. I was probably like second or third grade. I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I had like a princess themed birthday party, and my
Yeah.
mom made this cake. It was just like a sheet cake, but she used the
Uh-huh.
ice cream cones to make like the I don't know, the on the castle, the
Yeah.
little,
Yeah,
I
the
don't know what you'd
little,
call them.
yeah, yeah. Is it
Yeah,
turrets or I don't
prop,
know.
sure, let's call it that. I
Okay,
don't know.
sure.
But I just
We'll let your dad correct us.
I was gonna say Kirk's already rolling his eyes. But yeah, I just remember like thinking that was the coolest thing on that cake, and I was so impressed and just loved it. Like I have a still have a visual memory of seeing that cake in that house and everything. And then at school, we did a little birthday celebration back when my birthday was like in the first or second week of school, which it's not anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Um, and it was like, I think my mom came and brought, donuts or cupcakes, whatever, sharing about, oh, your favorite birthday memory. And I mentioned that was like the best thing ever. And I think my mom felt like she threw that party together, like just didn't feel like she was like, oh, I felt like I didn't do a great job, but she just thought it was so sweet
Yeah.
that was so like special to me. And I
Aw,
still think about
that's
that. I
neat.
remember that cake. So
That's
yeah,
really
yeah, that
neat.
was definitely. And then I'm hoping this year's birthday, because this is the year Randall and I are going to New York for the weekend to see
Uh-huh.
Harry
Oh.
Styles in concert. So I'm
Ooh.
hoping that this is a good birthday memory. So I'm putting that out there for
Yeah.
the future.
That's
Because I'm not
so
a big birthday
exciting.
person. I don't like
Yeah.
enjoy celebrating my birthday. I don't like being the center of attention. Like I just am not a big birthday person. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, how can I make my birthday tolerable and fun and in a way that I would want to celebrate it? So yeah.
It's awesome. That'll be super
Yep.
fun. Very, very
Yes, I'm so
cool.
excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And do you have pictures of that cake somewhere?
I'm sure I do. I'm sure I could find one. I think it's probably in one of my mom's
We'll
scrapbooks.
have
But
to
yeah, I
hunt
should,
for it and then post it on our
yes,
stories.
post
And
it.
think
Yeah.
I might have maybe some pictures
I
from my 16th birthday
I
party. I
feel
don't
like
know.
I feel like in our family scrapbooks we have pictures of that party. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
my mom did amazing scrapbooks. So I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'll have to
we'll
hunt
have
those
to do
down and post them.
some digging for that. So,
Yes. Yes, yes.
all right. Okay, would you rather? So this is food
Okay.
related because, I just love food.
Love it.
But
Yep.
would you rather order a chicken sandwich from In-N-Out
Oh
or a
boy.
hamburger from Chick-fil-A?
I feel like I'd order the hamburger from Chick-fil-A because I feel like they're like contractually obligated to be super nice. So I don't think they'd be mean. Not that In-N-Out workers are mean by any means, but yeah, I feel like somehow Chick-fil-A would be like, "Oh, my pleasure. It's fine." And they'd run to like, McDonald's or something and find me a
Good
hamburger.
for
But
you.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny
But I feel
when
like
okay.
just that In-N-Out, like obviously Chick-fil-A just has chicken, In-N-Out just has burgers, but I feel like In-N-Out's menu is so like we have not changed this in like 1,000 years, so of course we don't have anything new. I feel like that one's a
Yeah.
little more like there's no way that that's on the menu, but
Right. Okay, that's a good point. I did test this one
yeah.
out on a few people and they said the exact same thing you did. The Chick-fil-A workers, they have to be nice. And I go, well, the In-N-Out workers are actually pretty nice too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway.
Yes.
Oh
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
that's fun.
Okay. Well, as Abby said, we're doing sort of a 50 themed podcast episode, and we were trying to figure out how we can
Mm-hmm.
fit it into the theme, with introverts. And so we both did a little digging. Abby kind of got some information that I don't know about. And then I have some. So, Abby, do you want to start with yours or do you want to start with mine?
Sure, we can start with mine. I feel like mine will be a little
Okay.
more brief than yours. So,
Okay,
I
sure.
literally, so Amy sent me all her stuff that she had looked up, and I was like, okay, I feel like I have to do my research now and have something to contribute. So then I literally just Googled introverts 50 and was like, what pops up? But good stuff did. I was like, okay, this is interesting. So
Hey.
two different things. A lot of stuff about how like 50%, typically it's like 50-50 as far as introverts and extroverts across the board.
Uh-huh.
But one of the things I saw was that there's a trend of people leaning more introverted after they turn 50. So
Oh,
like 40 and under, it says roughly 25 to 50%, which I know is a big range,
yeah.
are more introverted, but above 40 and specifically above 50, it's like 50% of adults are introverted. So I thought that was an interesting,
Oh,
um,
okay. That
like
is interesting.
what triggers that. So I kind of looked into it a little
Right.
bit. Um, and there's like actually articles on like Psychology Today and like
Uh-huh.
the like NIH and a bunch of places. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually like a studied thing. A
Yeah.
lot of what they thought is basically like when you're younger, you're more like socially motivated and like, you're finding friends and you're finding a partner and you're finding a job. You're like doing so many more outgoing, extroverted type things that once
Right,
you're
right.
40s, 50s, you're kind of more settled into your life and you don't have to go out and do all those things. So it's kind of easier to settle into that more introverted way of life. So I just thought
Yeah.
that was very,
That
very
is
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I think just like with age and as you're more like, I don't know, people get so mad. It's like age is age and you just kind of got to get over it. But you're a little more docile. Your body tells you to slow down a little bit.
Hmm.
And yeah, I feel like that adds to it too. You're not like going out to parties every weekend and stuff like that. But
Right.
yeah, and I feel like I've heard that from people, not even to that age, but like I think about Riley, how she used to be
Yeah.
so extroverted and now she's settled to much more introverted. So my little
Hmm.
brother as well.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so it's just interesting how I mean, I feel like I've seen people do more that direction than, oh, you used to be super quiet when you were younger and now you're just like the life of the party. I feel like
Yeah.
that's not the direction that people had. I don't know if you have like observed similar stuff or what your thoughts on that, but
I have. I've noticed way more people starting off extroverted and just kind of going more into their shell than I have seen people, which I'm sure happens, but I just think you're right. It is more
yeah,
common. But yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I'm just like
yeah. Do you feel like,
wondering like how that happens, even just with Briley and your brother, Ben. It's just really interesting. I kind of want to study that more. Like, how does this happen? Is this like more like life stuff that turns it, or is there, I don't know.
I feel like it's got to be like developmental at some point too, because you think of
Yeah.
like kids and toddlers and a lot of like, for me, having kids and reframing a lot of, I don't know, like behaviors that people are like, oh, that kid is crazy. And they're all, all these like negative
Yes.
things that we put on children when it's like they're human beings learning how to be human beings and they're
Right.
pushing boundaries and they're like, hey, am I allowed to do this? Like, if I walk up and
Yes.
punch my sister in the face, what's going to happen? Like, they just don't
E-
know. So I wonder if
exactly.
there's an element of that. You're just like trying out everything and just like doing everything, especially that
Yes.
younger childhood age. It's much more like exploratory and like figuring things out. And there are the kids that are like truly more shy, introverted, quiet from a young age. But I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, no, I think the younger end, because I feel like that's probably what Ben and Riley kind of had some of that just
Yes.
childhood. And even like junior high, you're like doing all these things to fit in with friends and like trying on hobbies and interests and like you have a new personality every day. It's just like that go, go, go
Yes.
socially as that starts to play in. But yeah.
No, you've said before that you notice you and Ben have some similar qualities. Did you notice that when he was younger, or do you notice that more as he's gotten older?
kind of yes to both. Like when we were
Uh-huh.
younger, we're both the middle children, you know. We get the bad rap of being the crazy ones. So it's funny, like it's embarrassing now, but it's hilarious. But like when I was more embarrassing for me, Ben was like he was about 10-ish years younger than me. So I'm in high school and he's like in kindergarten. And he and I are probably at that time of the four of us living in the house, the siblings that are getting into the most like physical altercations more than anyone else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember he and I would just, because both of us had the stubbornness that I don't think my older
Yes.
brother or Hannah, my younger sister, really had. They would more just like,
Yes.
okay, whatever, give in. But he and I were
Yeah.
like, no, we're pushing this. So I feel like that was always
Right.
similar. Which is funny because that's not necessarily, I mean, it could be an introverted quality, but it's not like a, oh, we
Yeah.
both just like sat and read our books and we were quiet. Like that was not really us. So, um, yeah, yeah. So I think I saw those kind of similarities as again, they were turning
Sure.
into like fights and whatnot. But yeah, like as we've gotten older, I feel like we do have those similarities of like our sense of humor. And I was just talking to someone the other day. I feel like I can regardless of like what he's doing or like if he's had a great day or had a horrible day in bad mood, whatever, like I feel like I can always
Hmm.
be like, oh my gosh, do you remember this joke from when we were kids? Or I found this video game, or I
Uh-huh.
feel like I can always like connect with him in that ways, which is really, really fun. But yeah, yeah,
That's
I do feel
cool.
like we're similarly to how I feel with my dad. Like I feel like we're just kind of on the same
Yes.
wavelength. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. Makes sense. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really interesting as Riley becomes more on the introvert side, some of the things that she says she's experiencing or feels or goes through is very similar to how I am. And even she recognizes it.
Mm,
She's like, Mom, I'm kind of doing this now like you do. And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. So I never would have like pictured, that kind of
Yeah.
happening. But it's
Because
very, very interesting.
I feel like Riley was always so mini Niles that was
Yes.
like obviously there was like, parts of you in her, but seeing that I would agree. I see a lot more, especially seeing you two together. It's hilarious because you guys just have like very similar sense of humor and it's just fun to see that
Yes.
interaction. But yeah, I could see that as she's gotten older. And I have to bring it up. Speaking of them as younger kids, we stumbled upon some
Oh,
fantastic archived YouTube videos of them.
oh
Oh,
my
I
goodness.
I truly don't think I've laughed that hard in like years. I it just was so and it wasn't like, oh, home videos. This was like public on YouTube and just like here, let's video our way through the Del Taco playground and like random skits and music videos. I mean, oh, just all the childhood embarrassment. It was so much fun to sit and watch those. I've been thinking about it like nonstop.
Yeah, and the funny
Mm.
thing about that channel is, I was telling everybody that night, I created it pre-Google, and I have no idea the email password, and I have tried and I have researched to see if I can get into it. Because at one point, the kids were like kind of embarrassed it was there, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'll go take it off or whatever. But
Yeah.
I literally cannot figure out how to get into it, so I'm like, sorry, it's there. I can't do anything about it.
They're forever.
So if y'all want to go check out McCall Girl 1, there's a few gems on there that I just can't take down from YouTube. So
Yep.
enjoy.
Oh my gosh.
But it
Yeah.
was so much fun.
Yeah.
I
Watch
laughed
those
so hard.
videos. Yes. Yeah. I would, if you don't know our family, especially by name or by face, I don't think you could watch that video and point out who in the family are the ones that are more introverted now. Like all four of them just look like the most wild.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh. All in their own different ways, but so, so funny. That was just such a
Yes,
fun, nostalgic, hilarious
it
trip
really
down memory
was.
lane.
It was.
Yeah.
That was great.
My gosh.
So
Oh,
yeah.
so
So
fun. Yeah.
those were good. So
Yeah.
I was just kind of thinking of, different things to do for the theme of 50, and I thought, well, what would be some activities that an introvert would enjoy in 1950 and 1850, and then I even
Hmm.
went to 1750. So I researched it. So I'm going to list the things that if you were an introvert in each of those centuries, this is what you would probably be doing one of these things. And we'll talk about each century and see which
Yeah.
one that you would be the one, which one you would pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 1950, reading like a paperback, like from authors like Agatha Christie, stamp or coin collecting, using magnifying glasses and organizing all your albums, building scale models like plastic airplanes or cars or wooden ships, handicrafts and stitching, such as embroidery, cross stitch, crocheting, and mending, listening to suspenseful radio programs like The Shadow in a dimly lit living room, spinning a 78 RPM vinyl record on a console phonograph with a heavy steel needle, puttering with an amateur like ham radio or tuning a shortwave dials to catch like international broadcasts, or taking long solitary walks through local parks and leafy neighborhood streets without digital distractions, gardening and tending to private vegetable patches, rose bushes, things like that, and visiting a matinee movie at a downtown theater during the off-peak hours when mostly the auditorium was empty. So quite a few things. But of that
Yeah.
list, what do you think you would have been interested in 1950?
Mhm. That's good. Like all these examples paint such like a perfect picture. I feel like I can just like see, which is so fun. And I feel like the 50s specifically is always like so romanticized. I know it,
Yes,
obviously every era has its problems, but like reading
of
this, I'm
course.
like this feels like an introverted like dream. Like I feel like there's so
Yes,
many things that aren't just like, oh, the weirdo in the corner, but like so many things that are associated with that time. So I love that. I'm enjoying that.
so cozy and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah. The one that stood out was like stitching, like embroidery, crocheting, those kind of things, because I do enjoy
Uh-huh.
doing those things. So
Uh-huh.
I think that would be a fun one. And then I loved the matinee movie during off-peak hours. I'm like, hey, I'll do that now. That sounds amazing. So
Yeah, for
those are probably the
sure.
ones that stuck out most to me. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I think listening to music because I love that. Maybe listening to a radio program because I kind of equate it with listening to my true crime podcast. So maybe
Yeah.
a spooky radio program in a dimly lit room would be fun.
Yeah.
Also the matinee on off-peak hours, and then probably reading. So that would probably be kind of align with what I would
Yeah.
be into.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so now let's go to 1850. Let's see what they were doing then.
All right.
So they were reading, but they were reading serialized novels, poetry collections, or newspapers by the soft glow of a lamp, oil lamp, or the natural window light, probably depending on what you had.
Hmm.
Journaling and letter writing, spending hours writing detailed diary entries or crafting long, thoughtful letters to distant friends and family, because you just probably didn't see those people very often if they lived far away, if at all.
Yeah.
Sketching and watercolor, needlework, embroidery, cross stitch, quilting, solo music practice, maybe playing a violin or concertina or a parlor piano on a rainy afternoon, and collecting specimens, going on a quiet solo walk to press flowers, or collect interesting rocks and butterflies. So, of those, anything different that piques your interest, or kind of similar to above or of the 1950?
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, definitely similar. The one I like again can picture is like reading like the poetry or newspapers. It makes me think of I don't know if you ever watched. I want to say it's on Apple TV. Dickinson. It was about Emily Dickinson.
I did.
That show. That just like that's what I'm. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is not a Kirk correction. That'd be a Niles correction. I think that's the time in history that she existed. If I could be
Yeah,
very wrong, but that's what I picture,
seems
and I like
about.
that.
That's kind
Just
of where I would pin that
yeah.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that
yeah,
that one stood out to me, but yeah, what about you?
yeah. I think reading again, a solo music practice, playing an instrument. That would
Hmm.
probably be my jam.
Yeah. Yep.
So, okay, and then I
Yeah.
did one more century
Nice.
at 1750. So kind of some similar things, but
Yeah.
um there's not as much Um,
Yeah.
like we're going back and back with technology.
Right.
Um, reading, so that's the top one in all of them. So reading was a big thing.
Yep.
Keeping a diary, studying philosophy or sermons, practice needlework, sketch or paint with watercolors, play a solo instrument such as flute, woo woo, violin or harpsichord, take solitary walks, press leaves and flowers, and collect curiosities such as shells, rocks, or butterfly specimens. So anything new in that list you think you would be into?
I feel like at that time with the limits of technology, I feel like keeping a diary, I could see myself because like now I
Yeah.
enjoy when I go on walks if I'm like listening to music or even if I'm listening to podcasts. Like I love just
Yeah.
like I'll pause it and just kind of like listen to my own internal like monologue and thoughts and like yeah, I
Yes.
enjoy that. So I could see channeling that into a diary instead of, I obviously don't have
Yes.
AirPods and a smartphone in the 1750s, but like um having that like collection of your own thoughts and like being mindful and aware of those. But yeah, yeah, I could see doing that.
I kind of thought about that too. Part of the social media I do is kind of like a diary, but a video
Yeah.
one. And I remember at one point, when I early on in my marriage, I had an iPad and I would actually write down every day just little highlights of what happened.
Yeah.
I never kept it up, but it was fun to go back and go, oh, we did this day. Oh, and so I
Yeah.
could see myself, obviously, if that was the only way to remember events, capturing them, writing them down, and you would have plenty
Yeah.
of time to do that because you wouldn't have
Yeah.
a bunch of distractions.
Absolutely. Yeah, I,
So,
I enjoy doing that, like travel journals. We've done that, my husband and I, when
yeah,
we go on bigger trips.
right.
And it makes me think of the office ladies, Angela. She
Uh-huh.
always keeps travel journals when she travels,
Oh,
and she's read
yes.
some of them.
Uh-huh.
The traveling part is interesting, but it is so funny because she just truly writes out her inner monologue. They read them and laugh so hard. It's like, and it's very like, Dear Diary, hi, how are you? And at the end, it's like, see you later. Like she's doing that kind of thing. And it's like,
That's so
I had a
funny.
bagel today in New York and it was so good. And she like spends a page describing a bagel or
Oh,
sitting
that's
next to this guy on
funny.
the airplane and he had this tiny ponytail and like, bless his heart for putting that much hair into it, but like the most random things. But it's so, I always laugh when I think about travel journals and her. But yeah.
Oh, that's
That's always
funny.
it's fun to look back because it's things you're like, oh, I'm
Yes,
gonna remember this, and then you don't, and you're like, oh, that's right,
absolutely
like
not.
it's the little details. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, definitely. So that was our little look back into 1950, 1850, and 1750. And yeah, so that's
Okay,
kind of
I have
our,
a thought.
go ahead. Yes.
What? Okay, not that we know anything about the future, but what do you think introverts will look like in 2050?
Ooh,
I know it's not. I
2050.
mean, it's not too far away, but in
That's
comparison to all
true.
those things,
That is true. That is a good question. I think, um, hmm. I'm trying to think like what
yeah,
introverts do now and what
yeah.
that would look like. I don't know.
I feel
Do
like
you-
maybe we'll have colonized Mars and we'll just be alone and be like, "Where this is our space now. Leave us alone."
Right.
Except me because I there's no world where I would get in a spaceship. If the Earth is on fire, I'd be like, "I'm burning with it. I'm never going to space. Can't get me there no
Amen.
matter what." But
You and I are
yeah.
the same in that.
Yeah,
I
no.
was gonna stay here,
So
but yeah,
maybe
that's
we'll just be
true.
the last introverts standing on Earth. Maybe that'll be our fate.
We'll be the last representatives while all of our fellow introverts go over to Mars or whatever planet.
Yes. My
Yeah,
gosh.
that's a good one. Like trying to
Yeah.
get away. Introverts are always trying to get away, but really getting away, like
Yeah.
out of
Like real
the
far.
off of the earth, literally.
Yes.
Yeah, I could totally see
Yes.
that. That would be
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
It's funny how
Oh
we
my gosh.
envision things that are going to happen in the future, and then you get there and you're like, so where are those flying cars you thought we all are going to have?
Right? Because aren't we like, wasn't the Jetsons like the 2020s? Wasn't that what it was,
Yeah,
the time
it was
frame?
like,
How
yeah.
funny is that?
So we're just like, hey,
Just kidding, a virus that ruined
you know,
everyone's lives, but
I know exactly.
flying
No big
cars was a
deal.
great thought.
No big deal.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
So
that
yeah,
was
that
fun.
was
That was a
our
fun little,
little
yeah.
deep dive into just something fun and 50s themed. Since
Hmm.
yeah, my birthday is in a few days, which is crazy. It's crazy to just
Yes.
think of the number. I mean, it doesn't really
Yeah.
bother me, but it is just kind of wild to realize
Yeah.
you've been alive for 50 years, and I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just each
Yeah.
decade is a new, it's a new thing, but it's
Yeah.
all good. I've had a good
Yes.
pre-celebration, and I kind of joke with everybody because by the time I turned 50, people are like, okay, we're done, Amy. You're 50, let's move on. We've been celebrating for a while.
Uh,
And honestly,
yes.
I'm just having a lot of
So
fun with
good.
it. I'm not always someone that's like, hey guys, it's my birthday, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you're only 50 once. Just have fun with it. I think
Yep.
it's just part of it's getting to age where I don't care, and just let's just have
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so why not?
Love it.
But
That's awesome.
anyway. All right.
So fun.
So let's see. Awkward moments, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what
Okay.
what do you got?
Oh gosh. Okay, this happened a while ago, but I've had it on my list because it was just like what like prank am I living in? This is so uncomfortable.
Oh no.
So, after work, I'd ordered
Uh-huh.
food. A lot of times it's just easier and quicker to like order it on an app and go pick it up, especially if I'm on my way home. So, I'd ordered
Yeah,
and I'm like everywhere you can order 'em now. So, I was like I ordered Burger King on my phone and got to the drive-through and I was like, I always try to time it out because I finish work at 1 o'clock. And a lot of
yeah,
places are like every 30 minutes. So you can order for 1 o'clock or 1:30. And I'm like, okay, it's
yeah,
not going to take me 30 minutes, but I'm not going to be there right at 1. So a lot of times I'm like playing this time thing. But theirs is just like order it and it'll be ready in like 5 or 10 minutes. So I
sure.
planned it out. I was like, all right, we're good. I pull up and like I always have, I've got my order on my phone. I've got my email confirmation. I'm like, I've got everything, like proof. Okay, I'm at the right location. It's the right time. It's the right, I'm all paranoid. I'm going to show up at the wrong place. And the drive-through lady, I was like, oh, I have a mobile order for Abbie. And she like pauses and she's like, oh, I don't have it. I don't have an order for Abbie. And I was like, she was like, did you do, like, did you do the right location? I'm like, yeah, like I have everything
Yeah.
here. Um, and then she literally is just like, nope, and silence. Literally just says no at me. And I was like, there was no like, here, pull forward and take a look at your phone. She's like, no, we have no orders. And I just like sat there in silence and I was like, I mean, I see it. I'm like, what do I say? I'm like, it was
Oh
so,
my,
and it was like a good 10, 15 seconds of just silence. Cause I'm like, like, girl, like customer service, like help me out here.
yeah.
It was just so awkward. So
Oh
she's like,
man.
pull up to the window. And I was like, okay. So I pull up and I'm just like, I know I'm not in the wrong here, but I feel so
Yeah.
stupid.
Ugh.
I pull up and she's like, oh, it just came through. We'll make it for you right now. Which I'm like, I don't know if it just came through or not, or we're just covering. I was just like, but that, like, I just couldn't get over that no. Just no and then silence. It was just so uncomfortable. But then they made my food and it was great and it was fine. But it was just that, like,
Oh, that is awkward.
it was so awkward. I was like,
What?
I don't know how to respond to no. Like, what the heck?
How old? What do you know how old she was?
She was, I feel like I've seen her before because I've gone to that location before.
Uh-huh.
She's probably 20s,
Okay.
30 maybe, a little bit younger than me. But
Okay.
yeah. And then the manager was the one that ended up giving me my food. So I don't know if that was like she was just there and helping out or if there was any like, oh, I messed up and you need to help. But yeah, it was just
Yeah. Oh my
so
goodness.
weird. So
Yeah,
weird. Yeah.
that's crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And this isn't
Yeah.
really my awkward moment yet, but it just reminded me of me going through a drive-through recently. And I just had to laugh. It was McDonald's and I ordered online to pick up through the
Hmm.
drive-through, went through the drive-through, went up to the window. They gave me my drinks, said, your food's gonna be a minute. Can you pull around the front? Pulled around to the
Right.
front, brought out my food. And I realized I forgot something. So I had to go in. So I'm like, okay, my fast order, drive through, pull around, bring it in, but I still had to go in. I'm just laughing. I'm like, so how much time did this save? But anyway, that doesn't happen
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
but
I've had that happen. Yeah. My gosh,
So,
that's funny.
so my awkward moment happened at the
Yes.
beginning of cross country. So I walked up, and a lot of returning students were, greeting me, "Hi, Mrs. Carlin," or Coach Carlin, and "Hi," and saying their
Yeah.
names. And then I'm trying to get to know the new names, and so I walk up to a group, and they're sitting at the table, and one student has long black hair, and I thought I recognized it as a girl from last year. And so I say
Okay.
her name, "Hi." And I don't think anybody heard me, but as I said hi, I got to the side and it was a boy with long hair. And I was like, I just was like, I didn't kind of look around to
Oops.
see if anybody heard me say that girl's name. And I was hoping she wasn't
Oh my
there.
gosh.
But I just said it so confidently. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Yep.
anyway, just keep
My gosh.
walking.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's funny.
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yep.
All right. And then
Ugh.
recommendations. What have you have shown?
Yes. I'm so excited for mine. Okay, so I had other ones, but I was like, they're getting bumped down the list because I have to,
Ooh.
because it's a Costco item. So I'm like, well, no, who
Okay.
knows how long it's going to be.
Yes, yes.
So in Costco and in the candy section, I don't know. So it's an Australian candy called Tim Tams. Have you ever heard of
Okay. Yes.
that?
Hmm.
Okay, okay. I never know because we had gone to Australia and that was like a big thing there. Like that's what you got on every airplane as your little snack. Like it is like their thing.
Yes.
And I remember them being good when we got them in Australia. I didn't really remember like what flavor, what they tasted like, whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so fun. Let's get a box. They are so good. I think it's a combination
Mm.
of like good chocolate
Yeah.
and they're made in Australia, so they probably don't have, as much extra stuff as we like to put in our foods. But
Sure.
like you can tell like the chocolate melts really fast, so it's like good,
Mm.
it's just like the real
Yeah.
deal. And it's basically like so it's all chocolate flavored. There's no additional, it's not like peanut butter or anything. It has almost like a graham cracker wafer type thing in the middle and then just covered in chocolate. And it's almost got like a marshmallowy, kind of
Mm.
buttery, just oh, melts in your mouth. So good. And we've eaten so many of them. So
Oh,
if you see them
yeah.
at Costco, it's a box, but it's got like six smaller, almost like the little trays that like Oreos would come in, and there's like 10 in a
Yeah.
tray. So there's like 60 or something in them. But yeah, no, they are delicious and we
Mm.
have been eating them up. And I guess the thing they do, which I've been meaning to try because it's like the Australian thing, is you bite each because it's like a wafer. So there's some
Yes.
um I don't know, permeability. I don't know if that's the right word, but you bite like each of the corners and then you can use it as a straw. They use it for like tea and stuff like that. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
need to try that out because that's like the thing. But
Ooh. You
yeah,
know what?
just
I
eating them on
have
their
I
own
have
is
heard of
so good.
that. People
Yep.
pairing that with them. So it's called,
Yeah.
is it Tim Tam? Is that what it's called?
Tim Tam. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's in the candy aisle? Like,
Yes. Yes. It
okay.
was in with like the chocolate bars and all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, I will have to
And
keep
I
an
don't,
eye out
now
for
that I'm
that.
thinking, I don't know if I've seen those. I'm trying to think if you see those like at the regular grocery stores, the candy, because obviously it's made in Australia. So I don't know
Yeah.
how much it's distributed in the States. But yeah, no,
Sure.
I feel like the first time it stood out for me was at Costco. But yeah,
Gotcha.
definitely give those a
Okay.
try.
Yum. I'm gonna have to check that out next time I go.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So I have a recommendation of a documentary on Netflix, and it's called
Ooh.
"Should I Marry a Murderer?" And
Oh.
it's 3 episodes,
Okay.
and it's about this woman who, meets this guy and then basically discovers something that happened that he did in the past. He discloses it to her. And then, anyway, I don't want to give it all away, but it did take a couple
Yeah.
twists and
Yeah.
turns that I did not expect. And so only three
Hmm.
episodes, but really like
Okay.
it kind of kept me like on edge until the end. Like you
Yeah.
think you know how it's gonna go, and then you go, oh,
Yeah.
wow. So anyway, that's a good
That's
good
cool.
good
Ooh, that
documentary
sounds
to
fun. I'm
watch.
gonna have to watch it. Yep.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
anyway, before we
Fun.
go, I wanted to give a shout out to Mark Rains because he did come up with the idea of the 50 themed
Yes.
podcast. So thanks, Mark, for the great
One of our
idea.
loyal listeners. Yep.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then also, I wanted to update everybody on last time I talked about wanting to get episodes up on YouTube. And that was my project for the last half of the summer. I kind of just got on a roll. I figured out how to do it, and I had the time. And so I was able to get all our episodes up on our YouTube channel. and all of our shorts that we have released on our Instagram. And yeah, it's I'm excited to have that up there. And so if you have
Yeah.
aren't following us yet there, give us a follow. It's a way to watch our video footage. I mean, I'm always looking so beautiful in these videos, but whatever. Sometimes it's nice to just see the face with
Yes. Yes.
the person talking, especially like when we've done
Yeah.
interviews and things like that.
Yeah.
So if you
For
haven't
sure.
done that, give us a follow on there. And
Yes, I was so impressed because you had mentioned, okay, I'm gonna like start doing some of the YouTube stuff, and I swear it was like 2 days later. Amy's like, text me, and she's like, oh yeah, all of our videos are on YouTube now, and I'm like, okay, that was so, like, I pictured you in your like in the corner of your room, the lights off, you've got like six computers, and you're just like going, 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 and like getting it all done. I don't know how you did all that so fast, but I know I'm excited for that, even though I'm now paranoid. I'm like, we obviously were videoing on Zoom, but I wasn't thinking about the videos ever being posted. So I'm like, I no clue what I'm doing on those videos. I haven't watched any of them yet, but if you find any funny, I'm pretty sure there's one. I can't remember. I feel like it was maybe an interview, maybe with Alex. Like I
uh-huh.
was talking, and then
Yes.
clearly your dog Kuro got in the room, and you guys were
Yes.
like, trying to be quiet and trying to get him out. So I just kind of
Yes.
stalled and kept talking. And I remember that for sure being like, oh, that will be funny. But if you guys find
Yes.
any funny little moments or Easter eggs or anything crazy in our videos, please tell us because that would be so fun. But yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah, and
excited
I
for
just
that.
it was interesting to edit the video part because I had to listen to all of them again because in the audio I had already edited, certain areas, but I didn't
Yeah.
remember, so I watched, the video and did the splicing. But it was fun because I got to listen to all of our old episodes, and I was like, oh, I'm so proud
Yeah.
of us. We've done awesome. We've
No.
covered a lot of cool subjects, and
Yeah.
so I was like, I
Yeah.
was very, very proud of our work. So, but yeah, so get
Yes.
on the YouTube and give us a follow. We would appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
anyway, well,
yes.
thanks for listening,
All right.
everyone, and
Yeah.
we appreciate you all. And we promise we'll be back. I know sometimes it's our breaks are a little longer these days. It's just life is
Yeah.
lifing, but we are still, actively doing this. And if you ever have any ideas, please shoot them our way, email, message on, Insta, um, and check out our YouTube channel. So we
Yeah.
will, gosh,
Yeah.
see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for listening/watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.